Hi, JP Fournier of the Movie Jerks here, coming to you on day 5 of Action April, the month where I watch an action film I've never seen before every day for the full month. Yesterday we had Army of One, and let's see what we get today. This looks like it's from the 90s, 7 Hours to Judgment. Oh, actually it's from the 80s, 1988. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, no time to waste. A distraught husband kidnaps the judge who freed his wife's killer on insufficient evidence. He gives him 7 hours to find evidence that will put them away, or he'll kill his wife. All right, okay. 7 Hours to Judgment, day 5 of Action April. 7 Hours to Judgment is basically a man-on-the-run film, with Beau Bridges playing Judge John Eden, being blackmailed by a madman bent on revenge for the death of his wife.
That's insanity!
Bridges fits nicely into this character, as he's not the average action hero. He's not in top shape, he's a bit slow, and a bit aged, which works perfectly for the suspense in this film.
I'm trying to save my wife, damn it, I'm running out of time!
Yeah, well, we all got problems. Give it back! Damn it!
Because he is completely out of his league in almost every setting he arrives to. The film is nicely shot and has a fine, solid score by John Debney. However, it also has plenty of script issues, especially in the third act. From the start, the film sets up a class difference between Judge Eden, showing his expensive home with his younger, more attractive wife, and his class structure and upbringing put him at a disadvantage when he's trekking through the poverty-stricken areas. And this film also sets up the complications of a judicial system that is more set on pushing through cases like numbers, rather than working with them humanely as people. And our main character doesn't learn a thing about either of these two topics by the end. The film basically finishes with the notion that being poor is bad, and regardless of the law, madmen are always going to be deranged. And while Judge Eden encounters plenty of villains along the way, the two main villains, Reardon, the mastermind behind this blackmail, and his giant 7-foot goon, Ira.
As you can see, Ira is very simpatico.
Played by tiny Ron Taylor. Both of them are simply another version of George and Lenny from Steinbeck's Of Mice and Men.
What? Tell like me like he done before.
Tell you what?
About the rabbit.
Not tonight.
Come on, do it. Tell like he done before, please, please, please.
You get a kick out of that, don't you?
And their scenes are pretty great. Well, that is until Reardon becomes a Bond villain by the final climax. And this brings me to the strange tonal shift at the end. For most of the movie, we see Judge Eden exploring some dark, bleak locations, and the film doesn't shy away from delivering some gruesome, foul, violent, and disturbing images throughout. However, once we reach the finale, our villain has turned his warehouse into a real-life Donkey Kong-type obstacle course.
Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't like that? Come on. It's just a little jolt. Nothing fatal.
What the hell is going on?
Hey, maybe if you're quick
Am I
enough,
even
you can make
watching
it
the
to the
same
top
movie?
before I fry you.
And at this point, Reardon, played by Ron Liebman, who for the most part we could relate to his despair and anger, now has become completely unhinged. and any realism that this film built on has now been thrown out the door. 7 Hours to Judgment takes a bit to get started, but once it does, it becomes a relatively entertaining thriller. Well, that is until the ending, when it just becomes batshit crazy.
You're almost there, Your Honor. You had your night in the depths. Now you're climbing to the heights.
And there you have it, Day 5 of Action April. And today I watched 7 Hours to Judgment. If you've seen 7 Hours to Judgment, please feel free to add some comments in the comments section. And if you're curious about other films we're watching for Action April, be sure to hit the subscribe button below. Finally, for more information about the Movie Jerks, you can go to www.themoviejerks.ca.